If you've ever wondered why it's so hard to make a simple change to your money, then I think you're going to find this idea really useful. It's called the last mile problem. It might just be the key to helping you understand why you've been procrastinating on that very important financial task that you've been avoiding. In industries like transportation and telecommunications, the last mile is often the hardest and most expensive mile to make. For example, a ton of goods can land on a ship, and that's relatively easy in bulk. But to get one package all the way to your doorstep, not only is this last mile the costliest part of the journey, but it's the most important, because if you don't get past that last mile, then nothing matters. Those goods might have crossed an entire ocean, but if they can't get to your doorstep, then it's a failure. So I started seeing this connection between the last mile and personal finance. Nothing happens with your finances until you hit that button, whether it's transfer, next, continue, create an account. The buck stops there on literally a button click. All you have to do is open up a brokerage account and buy an investment. Boom, you're done. You've invested. Sounds simple, right? But to many people, this is the equivalent of telling someone who wants to lose weight, hey, just eat healthier and exercise. Easier said than done, right? We have limited time, energy, education, or even beliefs. And so millions of people sit on the sidelines of their finances. They freeze when it comes to seemingly simple tasks like opening up an account, making that first investment, reviewing their 401k to see if it's even invested. I worked with a client who had this 401k with her company for years and never really made changes to it, and she knew that she had to change her contributions and do something with it. When I asked her to explain what has stopped you from making these changes, it's been a couple years since you've been at this job, she basically said it's too confusing. So when I asked her to share her screen, the problem revealed itself. She said, all this looks crazy, intimidating, and confusing to me. I literally don't know what to click on next. It's just like a word jumble on the page. Seeing it from her perspective, I realized that it's not too different from going to a gym for the first time, seeing all these weights and exercise equipment and not really knowing what to do with them. And so what I did next was just walk her through this step by step. I literally explained what she was seeing on the page and guided her to the next action. And I also told her all the things that she could ignore, which is like 80% of the page. Now, I design interfaces like this for a living, and I'm also a money nerd, so I took for granted how easy this was for me, but probably very complicated for a lot of people. By the end of our session, my client had confidently selected a new investment for her 401k account. And this is a decision that's automated, meaning that she never has to touch it again, as long as she is enrolled in her 401k program. Now that's a huge win. And what she said to me really stuck with me. I needed someone to walk through that with me. Actually being someone's money co-pilot and coaching them through every step of the process while giving them insight if there's a blocker, that was a big unlock, and that's something I want to offer to people. More on that later. In today's digital world, finance has its own version of the last mile. But here's the kicker. It's all in your head. That last mile in personal finance is actually a mental mile. Think about it. You can watch all the finance YouTubes in the world, read all the books, listen to the podcast with really good tips, but nothing materially affects your finances until you go into your accounts and press a button. No buttons clicked, no action taken. For a lot of you out there, this last mile, even though it's just a button, it may feel like your Everest because finance is complicated, no one explained this to you, and opening that investing app, navigating through the options, and actually pressing buy on your first stock can feel terrifying. Your finger hovers over that button, and suddenly your brain goes into overdrive. Am I doing this right? What if I mess up? Maybe I should wait. What if I lose money? But here's the cool part. With a little bit of practice and the right guidance, especially someone to walk you through step by step, we could shrink that scary last mile into a manageable millimeter. If this sounds interesting to you, then I have a deal for you. I want to give you a free 1-hour financial accountability session where we do exactly what I talked about. We get on a call together, you share your screen, and then we walk through that problem step by step. You can bring any number of financial topics that are specific. For example, opening up a high yield savings account, get more than 0.01% that your bank is paying you, creating your first investment, or buying that first index fund, or doing a review or checkup on your retirement account so you can make sure that it's actually invested for you and not sitting in cash. And if you're not exactly sure on the action, I am still happy to help you. In exchange, I ask to share this video on YouTube with my audience so that they could see how easy this is to do. Personal details like your last name or your employer won't be shared, and any private financial information would be edited out, and of course we'll check in before the video is published. Now this is a win-win because you get a free financial coaching session. I have clients who paid me for a coaching package. You're getting this service for free. And also you get to spread financial literacy. And most importantly of all, you get to finish one big money win, maybe something you've been procrastinating on for a really long time. You get to finish that confidently, and it only takes an hour. I'm looking to close that application in a couple of weeks, so if you're interested, reach out. In the description, I link to a Google form. So this offer aside, I hope that by watching this video, you get a sense of what that last mile of money is for you. Clicking that button and finishing that form or whatever it is that you need to do. So don't let this last mile of money be the barrier between you and better finances. Let's tackle it together, step by step, click by click. I'm Oz Chen, and I help you mind your money.